Hey! We are here today in the studio and we are going to have some fun. Today we're going to be doing this beautiful watercolor. So, just grab yourself some paper. This is just one of my little art journals. I'm not even sure. It's a mixed media pad actually. Master's Touch media pad. And we are going to do this, so grab your watercolors. I have today my wonderful Mozart panel, beautiful neons and all kinds of fun colors. I have my travel brush, some water, and a paper towel. Let's go. Okay, so let's recreate this beautiful scene. And I'm telling you, it's so much easier than you would ever think. I'm going to put my little protectant sheet between so I don't get paint on the next sheet of paper here. And we're going to first start out with just making a big circle. You can make any shape you want. You don't even have to make a circle if you don't want. And or you can. It's totally up to you. But I'm just wetting a circle area here with my brush. And
those brushes hold a lot of water.
They do. These are great brushes. Love these brushes. Okay, so now my area is nice and damp. And the thing with creating a scene like this is you want the background to be very muted. And as you come up to the forefront, you want it darker. So that's what we're going to attempt to recreate. So now I'm going to take, and we're going to be primarily using this beautiful teal aqua color, and I'm going to get it really nice and diluted. And I'm just going to tap in here some color, just some nice diluted color here. Just give it kind of a sky appearance. All right. Love this color. It just creates such a beautiful, subtle, it's a calming, subtle color. And we're just tapping that in. No particular order, just to get a little kind of a mask of a background going. All right. Now we're going to start in with our trees. And these trees are absolutely the easiest thing that you'll ever do. And in the background, we want them very, very light. So I'm just going to be putting in and doing some I've got a little bit too much water here. So I'm going to dab and pick up and start that again. But I want to create the illusion that there are some trees in this background, and I think this needs to be a little drier, but we'll continue on here because you'll see what I'm talking about. So and these are a little bit darker than I want, but that's okay, we'll make it work. So it's just a line down and then just a bunch of little cross lines in no particular order or pattern. We're just going for that real muted, soft, shadowy background look. We'll redo this one that was over here. Okay, so there's the very furthest away trees, and you can tell they're a tree, but they don't look like they have a whole lot of form. Now we want to add a little bit more pigment, and we're just going to drop some of those in. in the foreground in front of those. And again, no particular order on the branches, just nice little cross hatches. And look at, it just looks like a misty, I don't know, like you're out on a lake and you're looking across the lake and there's fog. And you can see across that lake. I don't know about you, but there's just something really magical about that. Eerily beautiful. When I was growing up, we used to go to the lake all the time in the summer and rented a place on the lake for a couple of weeks at a time and just had so much fun. And this just reminds me of that. It kind of makes you want to get a book and curl up with a book, get alone, get away, kind of do some reflecting. All right, so there are, I think, that next level. So you can see the very background ones are much lighter. Now we're going to even add a little bit more pigment. We're going to do 2 more layers of these. So these are going to be a little bit darker, a little bit less pigment here. And you can stack them up on top of each other because, you know, if you were looking at all of these trees, you would see some in the foreground, some in the background. You'd see parts of others and you wouldn't see any of the one next to it or just a few branches. So that's what we want to try to recreate here. Okay. I'm liking how this is turning out. I hope you're having fun. There's never a time where experimenting can't be fun. I'm going to put one more kind of here. All right, and maybe one more just ever so slightly right there. Okay, now we're going to go for some bolder colored ones. And I'm going to pick up a little more pigment on my brush, and these are going to be our foregrounds. So again, some nice bolder colors. Bet you didn't know you could be so good at trees.
It's amazing to find out.
I know.
Opens a whole world of possibilities of trees.
It does. You don't have to be an expert to really create some fun art. And we're no experts over here, but we do like art. Okay, so there's those little doodads. Now I'm even going to go with one more, a little tiny bit darker, and just to finish it off. Oh, fun. All right. I think that's all I'm going to do with that. So we're just going to let that dry. But in the meantime, we're going to create some fun on the background. I'm going to switch to a little bit larger brush. And we're just going to create a real soft background around the whole photo here, or the whole circle rather. And you can use whatever color you want. I want it just to be a real soft color though. I'm going to go with just a real light yellow. I want it to just be kind of give you the illusion that maybe the sun's going to peek out at some point here. A little bit darker up at the top and lighter as we come down. Isn't that the fun thing about working with watercolor? Mm-hmm. You can create so many different effects
with just the same sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to just add in a little bit more of that pigment. Man, I don't know where this is, but I want to go. I want to go. I want to bring my book, and I just want to sit by the water edge and enjoy. What do you think, Jamie? You want to go to this place?
I do.
I know.
It's really pretty.
I want to just go and hang out there with a good book, cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. I just like staring out into the open.
Yes.
Just there's your mind just keeps running because there's nothing stopping it.
Yeah. And you can just let your mind go.
That's right.
And you know, that's really one of the great things with art is, honestly, I find I get some of the best inspiration when I'm just still. And that means I'm just not trying to think of anything. I'm just meditating. I might be prayerful. And I'm literally just being still. Ooh, I love that. Wow. All right. I'm going to let this dry for a second. I'm going to take a dryer to it, and we'll be right back.
I love that little clipper thing.
I know, that's great, right?
Only thing about it that I do not like is that you do have to make sure the phone's still on.
Right.
It's like, okay, I have to walk back around and
is
look.
it on? Or
Yeah, is it on? Before I
Yeah.
hit this button and start talking, is it actually
Right.
on? Like,
Right.
Oh, that's really pretty.
thank you.
I can draw a stick figure that
That's
has
good.
a wiener. Looks like because the stick's always too damn long.
Wiener?
You know, you make the stick figure and you don't make the legs even, so it always looks like it has a wiener.
Oh, God, that's a great thing.
Just one, just an extra.
Yeah,
When you're a third
Because
trimester.
when I was little kids, they'd be like,
You got a wiener. I'm sorry.
"It's a man."
Look at you.
Isn't that beautiful?
She's so talented.
I love the contour of the skirt.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like she's dancing.
Yeah, she looks like, oh, I don't have a care in the world.
Wing.
Wee.
Let's make sure the phone's on. Yeah.
Wee, wee.
Hooray. Wee.
Oh, we're recording all of that. Great.
Oh, yeah, we'll
Oh, no, that
edit.
wasn't.
We'll edit.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was. That
Oh,
was good. Oh, great.
woohoo.
Okay, woohoo. That's good.
All right, here we are back, and I'm going to add some sort of a really pretty ring around the outside. This is dry for the most part, so I can go back in here and wet it again, and it's not going to bleed because it's already dry. So if you don't want your next color to bleed in with the remainder, let it dry and then you're good to go. All right, I think we're just going to add in some darker of this beautiful turquoisey. And that's the great thing too, is if you'll notice here, it's staying within the boundaries of where I've put this water, where I've laid that water out. It's really minding. And that's what watercolor does when you are using a wet on wet or a wet on dry here. The wet on dry rather, it's going to stay where you have the boundaries laid out. So the boundaries for this is that extra circle of water that I laid out. And I do want this edge to be a little more varying. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit of this, and then I'll add a little bit of other water. I don't want it so perfect. Over here I'm not so worried about. And then I'm going to add a little bit of extra water up here. Okay, pretty. Woo. All right. Now again, we're gonna let that dry and we'll be right back. Now I'm gonna add some wording on the top. And I actually think I'm not really liking that this is so white down here. And so I'm also going to just add some very light, misty looking yeah, there we go. I like that better. I didn't like that just white space there.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Looks like they're almost coming up out of the mist or out of the water.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe out of a cloud bank or
Yeah.
something. That would be cool.
So that's all the color that we're going to do. We're not going to do any other color. And now I really feel like this piece warrants a be still and know that I am God.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're going to put on here. All right. I think, bye, have a good lunch.
I'm going to the doctor.
Okay. So we're going to do B. And we're just doing those in big letters. And then the still, I think I'm going to just do all of the be still in, well, no, I don't think I am. I think I'm going to do S T I L L, and we'll make that faux calligraphy here in a second. Be still and know that I am God. Okay.
What words are those?
Yep.
Put those in the right order.
And know that I am, and then we'll just do a big God. G O D. And now we'll go back and we'll make this all kind of a little faux looking. We'll add some depth to it. So on here, I'm just going to add in another swipe down. That's all I'm going to do there. And over here, I am going to, on the downstrokes of these letters, you see how I just came and added another line, and then I'm just filling that in. This is the downstroke, so I'm just adding another line and filling that in. Same. So this would be up and this would be down. And that would be up, and this, whoopsie, that's okay. And this would be down. Okay, so be still. I love that. And then on the end, I think I am just going to make the downstrokes a little wider. So this would be up, this would be down, this would be down, and I'll put a little bit on that D. We'll do the K a little bit, and we'll do this N again. That's the downstroke part, and the O. This is the down on the W, and the other down. You could put anything on here that you wanted, or nothing at all. I do think it adds, though, you know, right now with everything that's going on and people quarantined and businesses not working, I need this. I need this in my life, and there's probably some of you that need this too. We just need to remember who's ultimately got our back.
Yep. That's the truth.
And it's hard sometimes to remember that when you're right in the thick of it and in the midst of it, and you're wondering, you know, how am I going to make my mortgage? How am I going to homeschool my kids? There's so many variables right now that are out of our control. And so what do you do when there are things that are out of our control? Well, one thing I do know is that He is never ever changing. And He knows the beginning from the end. He knows what our fears and our anxieties are, and He says to cast those upon Him, for He cares for us. And so this is just a reminder to me that I can just be still, and I don't have to be anxious. I don't have to wonder, and I can know that He is God.
That's right.
Be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
Neat. I love it.
Yeah, I love that one.
Mm-hmm.